So folks, we've come inside and I've been joined by Paul here from PÖTTINGER, who's just going to take us around the flagship machine, the jumbo wagon. Paul, thanks very much for taking the time to join us. And the machine we're standing in front of, just give me a wee rundown on the naming of it and the size of it.
Well, I guess essentially the name is not new. There's a long tradition of jumbo coming from the early 90s. There's been a complete overhaul in 1999, which was probably the biggest seller since that period to now of jumbos around. And then we had a facelift 3 years ago. This machine was a long time in development. They wanted to really test it fully before launching into the market, so they decided on a facelift of the outgoing version 2 years ago. And then this was launched in the pre-series last season. So what that means, we manufactured 30 models. They sent them out to the world just to make sure everything was ironed out. And now they're in full production from here on in. So the jumbo name is, I guess, quite famous within the wagon industry, and it's our biggest model.
Yeah.
And this is actually the smallest version of the new jumbo. So the letters on the side now and the numbers, I should say, correspond to the actual size of the machine. So the 7 means the size of, say, the drivetrain and so forth, and 40 is the cubic din, so how big the body is.
Very good. And 40 cube, and then I'm just looking down the side, you have the wee boards on top.
Yeah, well spotted, yeah. So because there is an overall height restriction, and this machine now is available on 30.5 inch rims, I don't think that's something that's going to be a big seller here. But if you go for 26.5 inch rims, it allows you still that, I think it's 3 or 4 inches extra height on top, which equates to 2 cubic meters on this machine.
Yes.
So on the side it's 40, but in reality it's 42 cubic meters din.
And what sets this machine aside from the machines that I would have known from around our own farm at home is the mechanical bit at the front for pushing grass back. Is that?
That's part of it. I guess first case what it does is it utilises the space between the tractor and the front of the machine. So that was a dead space in the past, and now you can put grass in it.
Yeah.
So that was the main reason. The second topic then is filling. So now you have much more control over the filling process because we can control the angles of both the yellow bit and the red bit. And then with unloading too, it's helping to get the material out of the wagon faster. It's leaving nothing behind, so it's moving with the floor as you're loading and unloading. So there's 3 topics to that, but definitely that's what sets it apart from what you've seen in the past.
Good stuff. And pickup rail, what width is on this one, Paul?
It's 2.3 meters as standard. And the only option then you have is, which is on this one, is the hydraulic foldable wheels, which is a really nice option.
Yes.
And that's not standard, that is an option. And that brings it into 2.5 meters road transport width.
Okay, very good.
We have one machine without it in Ireland, and it suits where they are, but I think for general purpose it's better with this option with such a wide pickup.
Good stuff. Just on the knives, if we do get a blockage, how quick can we get going again?
Well, it depends how big it is, I guess. You can actually leave the PTO running on this machine and just disengage the drive here. And then you move back your floor. Usually that's enough, so you can be going. Move back the floor and bang, put this back in gear and you're done again. I guess something to know too, and you can see it here, is a torque sensor. It's measuring the load on the drivetrain here, and that in turn can control your automatic loading and unloading. So it's sensing how much here, and you can adjust it in the cab then when you want your floor to move. So it's really automated loading on this as well. You actually never load this machine manual. When you get used to it, you will load fully automatic.
And just one final wee thing, the wee wheel.
Yes.
That comes round to the front. It hides in there for transport on the road, and then it comes round to the front whenever you
add a touch of a button. Add a touch of a button, and that's optional. You can get a fixed wheel as well, but it's with this now you're 2.5 meters here on the front, which is a huge help when you're up around here to get in and out of places.
Look at a fantastic machine, and thanks very much for taking the time to take us round. folks. And that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, folks.